Alright, today we're going to talk about how to practice the grid for the key of F major and D minor. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and tune up the ukulele, grab this music paper. It says the grid scale pattern for a key of F or D minor. We're going to get started in about a second. Pause your tutorial, tune up the ukulele, grab the paper, come on back. Okay, so you got your paper, you tuned up your ukulele. We're going to talk about the grid for F major and D minor. However, I would just be saying F major, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Be sure that you have a strong grasp on your locations on the fretboard. In other words, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, etc. I talked about in another tutorial how I put on some markers on the top of my fretboard here. 3rd, 5th, 7th going on, and that tutorial talked about how I put it on, so you can refer back to that unless you already know how to do that, and that will help you locate your notes better, because it just acts as markers to let you know where you're at, where the note's at, and what fret you're on, and it just helps you along when you're moving up the fretboard, as you can see. Okay, at this point you should have a pretty strong concept of the grid, kind of how it works, what notes are in the grid for the key of F major. Keep in mind that not all the notes are on the on the board, but all your notes are on the paper. Okay, that's the main thing. So refer to your paper, and if I talk about something, I'll talk about it on the board. But keep in mind that, you know, some folks are playing concert ukuleles and sopranos, and they don't have a lot of fretboard, so they can only go up so far. However, if you have a tenor, you have a lot more fretboard, and you can go farther up the fretboard. Just follow your diagram paper, and you can go up the fretboard to add additional scale patterns to the grid. Okay, once again, beware of the B flat. What I do is I think of all the notes and all the scales as one big grid. Okay, that's the concept, or that's the end result, that's the outcome of how you want to think of it. But to keep it so that you won't get overwhelmed, we're going to break it down into sections. Like for instance, like we're going to talk about the 1st position, 2nd position, 3rd position. But keep in mind, I don't normally use that term, and I think of it more as a grid. That means all of the notes on the fretboard. Okay, but to keep it in perspective for you and make it understandable, I'll use that terminology of sections or positions, and we'll talk about the notes. So definitely take some notes on your paper if you need to. That helps you. Okay. With that being said, hopefully your ukulele is in tune with mine, and you tuned it up, because you got to try to match the notes if you start to fall behind, and make sure that the notes sound like my notes, so that way you know that you're playing the correct notes on the sections and scale patterns out of the grid for F major. Okay, now mostly I'll be talking about the notes. Okay, so you got to pay attention to the notes I'm talking about. I'll give you like a marker, like what fret we're on, maybe what string we're on. But after that, I'm just going to be communicating with you via the notes on the fretboard. Okay, so you should have a pretty strong command, good understanding and foundation of the notes on the fretboard to keep up. If not, you got to back up and do those lessons again to bring you to this level. Okay, and at any time, if this lesson gets a little challenging, a little confusing, whatever, pause the tutorial, just stop the tutorial, slow down, back up, you know, try it again. Don't keep on going if you are having a challenging or confusing moment, because it's just going to get more confusing and more overwhelming and frustrating. So just back up, get it under your perspective, get the understanding, then move on. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, 1st position, we're going to start with the open C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. So right here, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. That's the first position we're going to do first. Okay, here we go. Open C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. Okay, now you can use my fingering, or you can use your own fingering, whether it's comfortable. Once again, the numbering system for my fingers is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. For example, open 2, open 1, 3, open 1, 3. That's the fingering that I'm using, okay? Let's try it one more time from the open C note. Here we go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. That is not a C scale, okay? That's not a C scale. Why? Because you got a B flat note in there. That's why it's not a C scale. So don't get confused. I'll let you know, if we come across a familiar scale, but keep in mind that was not a C scale. Okay. One more time. So open C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. Now you need to go at your speed now. If that's too fast for you, go at your own speed, keep it even, smooth, correct notes. So no matter how slow you go, C, D, E, F. So whatever speed you're at, that's the speed you want to go at, and this is the gauge for your speed. As long as you don't make any mistake, that speed is fine. You can go maybe a little faster. The minute you make a mistake, you got to slow down and go slower. That's how you judge the speed that you're at. Okay, let's descend. Descend, coming back up. So in other words, okay, starting with the C at the bottom, first string, third fret. Here we go. C, B flat, open A, G, F, E, D, open C. Okay, so try that. Okay, pause the tutorial, try the ascending, then the descending. Once you got it pretty smooth, okay, once you got it pretty smooth, what you want to do is you want to ascend and descend. If need be, put a pause in there before you descend. So you would ascend, pause, descend. So pause, descend. And once you got that smooth, then you can do the continuous motion. Okay. Next position, second position. We're going to start from the E. We're going to give you two versions of the second position. E to F. So progression goes E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. E to F. E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Okay, if that got a little confusing, pause it, try it on your own, or back it up, listen to it again, and then once you're ready, we'll get started. Okay, here we go. Follow along. Fourth fret, third string, E, F, G, next string, A, B flat, C, first string, D, E, F. Okay? The fingering that I'm using is 1, 2, 4. Next one, 1, 2, 4. Next string, 1, 3, 4. Okay? Some folks use like their 1, 2, 3. For instance, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Some folks do that. You decide on what's comfortable for you. Let's try it again. Use your finger that's comfortable for you. Starting with the E note, ascending. Here we go. E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Descending, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F, E. Okay? So, you want to ascend first, you want to descend, and then you want to put it together with a pause in there, okay? Now let's move on to the next one. This is the same positioning, except we're going to start on the F. We're going to start on the F. And we're going to go F to F. Guess what? That's an F major scale. We played it in the previous tutorial. There should be no problem. There should be review. So I'm going to move a little faster, okay? 5th fret, 3rd string, F. F, G, A, B, flat, C, D, E, F. You hear the scale? F major scale. So it should be easy, should be review. Let's descend since you already know the scale. F, 8th fret, 1st string, F note, high F note. Here we go. F, E, D, C, B flat, G, F. Okay? Try that a couple of times and to make sure that you can do it both ways. And go at the speed that you are comfortable, no matter how slow it is. Okay. 1, 2. So we'll go to the 3rd position, starting from G to a G. G to a G. So it'll be G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. This is not a G major scale. Okay, it is not a G major scale. So don't get that confused. Once again, the progression is G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. Let's see here. Fingering I'm using 1, 3, 4. I may alternate between 2 and 4, then back to the 1, 2, 4. Sometimes I may go 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4. It depends on what I'm doing. Okay, but you try to find the fingering pattern that's comfortable for you. That's the main thing, what works for you. Also, keep in mind when we're doing this, you got to make sure the notes are correct and you want to be even when you're playing. Most important of all, you want to make sure the notes are correct. So when we're playing together, your notes should match my notes, and that's how you can tell that you're on the right track. Okay, starting with the G note, 7th fret, 3rd string. Here we go. G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. One more time. G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So, and then you want to descend from that, okay? And then descend from that scale. And then connect it. Okay, so the main thing I think is that you should take your time and go smoothly and play the correct notes. For now, think of them as, like I said, positioning and location. In other words, 1st position, 2nd position, 3rd position, etc. You know, depending on how far you go out the fretboard. And then you want to start connecting. I mean, when I say connecting, you want to know that, like for instance, when you're playing the 1st position, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, you know that coming up next is your next position, which is really the D minor scale. That's your D minor scale, so keep that in mind, the next position. D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, that's your D minor scale, as discussed and that you learned in the previous tutorial. Okay, so back up the tutorial, give it a try. Again, really pay attention. I know this may be a little overwhelming for some folks, and you know, that's a lot of information. So take it slow, go on a speed that's comfortable for you, learn it in small sections, okay? then kind of grab sections, bigger sections. Like for instance, if you learn the first position, okay, you got that under your belt, and you're coming to the second position, maybe just practice those two for a while, and hold off on the higher position. Just practice this two, because you know that's enough information to absorb in you know, a few sessions. Then as you get comfortable, maybe add on, practice the next section, add it on to whatever section you're working on or you would like to, but learn it in small chunks. Find the fingering that's comfortable for you. Picking, by this time now, you probably developed, you know, a picking style. Like maybe you're the type that picks with your thumb, or maybe you like to pick with your finger or middle finger, or maybe you're a little advanced and you do a double fingering pick. Okay, depending on where you're at. Many things you find something that's comfortable for you. Okay. One thing great about the ukulele is that I think that no matter what style of playing that you use, you can adapt it to your style of playing. Whereas like other instruments, you kind of need a little bit more technique because it involves more strings. But the ukulele is pretty flexible. It's pretty responsive to whatever style of playing or technique that you would like to utilize personally, what you prefer. Okay, with that being said, listen to this tutorial as many times as you need to. I know it's getting a little complicated, and then if only when you're ready, move on to the next tutorial where we teach you how to play the grid with some various techniques and how you can create stuff on your own. But before you get there, make sure you got this down, okay? Once you're ready, we'll see you for the next lesson.